Hello, book connectors and music lovers, one and all. Welcome back to the channel. I am your host, Black Devil, and this time I am here with the final installment of the Billy Joel story. So come on in, let's get started. Okay, so the last time we spoke about him was 2 months ago. I am so sorry, book connectors and music lovers. I'll talk to you. I'll do that in another video. But just to wrap Billy up, I don't want to just keep adding all of that to his videos. But the last we spoke about him, he had just divorced his third wife, Katie Lee. She was the one that was 21 years younger than him. She was she was a culinary arts graduate, and so she was, into getting her career off the ground and all of that. They divorced, and it seemed to be amicable. And so, Christy got along with her okay. But then he goes on and he marries this lady. Her name is Alexis. That's her name. Her name is Alexis. And I can't remember because it's been about 3 months now since I finished the book. But they have, if I'm not mistaken, they have 2 daughters together. So in total, Billy has 3 daughters. The one we know is Alexa Ray, and that was with Christy Brinkley. Then he has these 2 younger daughters by his, I guess they're still married, hopefully they are, his current wife, Alexis. Now, it was just more of the same thing, he's out. He's having to, go on the road and promote whatever album he was working on at the time and reestablishing his relationship with his older daughter, Alexa Ray. And it just goes on pretty much, that's the way it is. But at some point, the biggest thing that I took away from this last part of the book is that he basically, 1993, he stopped recording or writing for rock and roll or soul or whatever his music is. He stopped doing that. He strictly does, or he did, classical music. That's what he was into. Now, he's older. He's had a couple of hip replacements. Not sure about knee, but he was saying that, at this point in time in his life, he just didn't see the need to just keep fighting in the same genres that he had been in, because it just seemed to him like, number one, he just didn't have the drive that he once had when he was much younger and much more physically capable of doing what, standing on top of pianos, flipping off of them, or whatever he used to do at his shows. But, and then he just always has had that classical side to him. Remember, his father was a pianist, and his father, that's what he wanted to be, was a classical concert pianist. But his father, he ended up having to put what he wanted to do for himself aside to help his parents out back when they were over in Germany and Austria. Well, that's where his dad went when he left him, and his mom, he went to Austria and all of that stuff, and Billy learned years later. I think I mentioned that in the last It might have been the second installment, but Billy does have a half brother who is also in the classic music genre. He has made quite a name for himself over in Austria, but he's also well known over here in the States. In fact, he lived over here for a while, but I believe he went back to Austria. I'm not quite sure if their father, Howard or Helmut, is still living, but I know that Billy's mom passed away in 2014. I think she was like 93, 91, somewhere between 91 and 93 years old when she passed away. And then, let me see what else I said that about Alexa and Alexis. Oh, the only other thing I wanted to say about this is he at some point talks about going on the Oprah Winfrey Show. And, okay, for the viewing audiences, I know I didn't pick up on it, and I watched Oprah from day one to day 12th of never. As long as she was on, I watched her show. And, but I don't remember which time it was, but he felt, and this comes out in the book, and I guess it was some time between the time he actually was on the show and, years later he's reflecting back on it. But he talked like his experience there was, less than ideal, And all I can say about that is, in the past 2 or 3 years, I've noticed that more people have started coming out and talking about their experiences with Oprah or being on her show. And let's just say it's dimming that light. And that's something that I find sad, because I was a big fan of hers. And no, I never got the impression that she was perfect, and she never really carried herself like she was. But it's been several people. Now, if it had been, 5 or 6 people over her 30, 40-year career, okay, you're just not going to hit it off with everybody. But because it's been this many people in 3 years' time, I don't know, maybe I'll do a video just about Oprah and all this stuff, I don't know. But getting back to Billy, I can't remember, although I remember the show, but I cannot for the life of me remember what she said that he either was uncomfortable with or had already said that he didn't want to discuss that. Because, when people go on different shows, I think they give, some sort of list of things they are willing to talk about and what they're not. And he implied in his book, because I do not remember him saying on the show outright, I don't want to talk about that, or that's not why I'm here. I did not hear him say that, but he did imply that he was very dismayed with the way the conversation or the interview went. And remember, I told you in that last video, when someone, I don't know what I was watching, but whoever the interviewer was interviewing Christy Brinkley. And I think they tried to low-key, they chat her up. Yes, I'm good. It's good to see you, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I'm doing great. And you're out here to promote whatever said project is. But somewhere in like maybe less than 5 minutes, because you only have so many minutes per segment, but whoever the person was asked her something about Billy. How's Billy doing lately? She's like, he's doing great. Yeah, I talked to him, whatever. And then they asked what they really... Sorry about that. But yeah, then they asked what they really wanted to know. And Christy was like, you're just not going to get me to say anything bad about Billy. You're just not. And I loved that answer. Moving on. I'm here to promote a project, not to talk about my personal life. But okay, so that's what that was. Well, I'm not exactly sure what Oprah, what was going on with his experience on that particular episode, because like I said, I remember seeing it, but I didn't pick up on anything, her trying to be slighted. But when he said that, what that really told me is that he evidently had already said, these things are off limits and stuff, and she kept trying to get him to talk, and he just was not having it, and that's okay. That's okay, because she only talks about what she wants to talk about. So, all right. Well, yeah. This completes the Billy Joel story. I can only hope that you all got something out of it, as long as it's been, I think I checked the last time I posted on either of the channels was back on October the 12th. And if I'm not mistaken, today's date is December 11th. So I am 1 day shy of 2 months since I last posted anything on either one of these channels. Listen, I say it all the time because I sincerely mean it. Thank you all who are subscribed. And visitors, please feel free to join us. We'd love to have you here. And with all of that being said, everyone, please don't forget to like, share, comment respectfully, and by all means, make sure your notification bells are turned on so you'll know whenever YouTube decides to let me get back in the game. You can see the videos, and we can pick up where we last left from the last video. That's my plan anyway. So, and listen, I say all the time also, I know I'm not the only person on YouTube who does this. But I do know that you all have chosen to stay with me, stick with me along the way. And for that, I am so, so grateful to you for that. And so with all of that being said, remember this: as long as there are books around and music to listen to, there will always be something to read and rock out to. And so until we read and rock again, book connectors and music lovers as well, be safe out there. God bless until we read and rock again. Bye for now, though.